we're in a swamp, and I love hunting swamps. I know a few folks that do too, but you gotta find the right swamp, and we're in a jam up right here. We're on public land in Alabama, of course. We're in a swampy green. I don't even know what kind of bushes these are, but these suckers stay green throughout the winter. And when the pressure's on, after hunting season's been on, say a couple weeks, then it starts getting close to rut. The deer love using these son of guns. You can be in a dang tree stand and be watching something, and 5 minutes later a dang deer just appear, because they can come out of this anywhere. But this area is kind of unique because it has 4 or 5 or more fingers around it, up to say 1.5 miles away, where deer can go. Say there's a green field that way a mile, a green field that way a mile, or whatever that way a mile, or different bedding areas, bedding ridges, bedding points. If the pressure's on a pretty good bit, bucks love getting in this stuff. They can bed in a dang treetop or blow down or just a little dry spot, because this stays pretty wet. And early season, before even if it rains any time in the winter, this is going to be 2 to 6 inches of water at times. So right now it's a little bit dry. We crossed a little creek to get to here, but everything here, it's even like hunting ridges or mountainous areas, whatever, and you'll hear people talk about X marking a spot, or drawing a bunch of lines on a topo map to where things point to the same place. Well, if you can find a swamp, low or maybe mid-level, where a bunch of fingers, that's, the roads are a mile to half a mile away, and where people can come in and actually push deer to you, whatever. But I like hunting a swamp it's got a thick edge, where I don't want to keep coming through the swamp and leaving a bunch of scent. I want to be able to hunt the edge where I can see in 50 to 80 yards at the max, because it's just too thick, and be able to see the back edge, let's say toward a bedding area, because most of the action, or over the years what I've learned, is most of the deer activity that I see is closer to where I think the bedding activity is, or bedding area is. So I try to concentrate on them. So right now we're basically walking this big old, I don't know how big this place is, we're trying to figure it out, but it's a kind of a fresh area. We put a camera out, and we've seen some tracks right here that's fresh, and we're going to walk another quarter to half a mile toward a pine thicket and try to pick up some more tracks. We're just trying to figure out everything that kind of intersects. I want to be able to get to it without going through half the swamp, whatever, because the way they travel through, they just zigzag. So I'm looking for the actual most sign that could have been a historical sign, big rubs, big rubs, then maybe some community scrapes and stuff like that. So then possibly come back, put a lock on up, or have a place picked out to put a climber on. But whenever I figure out where I might want to hunt or what I want to hunt, I'm going to go ahead and do it today if I can, is find me a dang tree or 2 trees, depending on what kind of winds I'm looking at, and where I can get to it without crossing a bunch of stuff, and make out a plan for already this season and try it. Because this place there's a bunch of tracks right now, so they done a burn about a quarter mile from here. So I don't know if that kind of pushed more deer into here, but hey, there's hunts and swamps.